What is up, everybody? Luke Film Boss here, and today I'm going to be talking about the 95th annual Oscars. About a week ago, the official nominations were released for the Oscars this year, which will be on March 12th, 2023, 8 p.m. EDT. And I just got to say, the nominations this year look pretty good. So that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. What do I think of the Oscar nominations? Are there any that I would have picked differently, or any that I think just don't deserve the Oscar at all? That's what I'm going to be discussing. So I'm going to start off by watching this 40-second promo for the Oscars this year, and then I'll get into my thoughts.
Movies are dreams that you never forget.
It's the most magical place in the world. You stop making movies, it'll break your mother's heart.
This is larger than any of us.
So that's that promo. Now, one thing I want to point out is very apparent here is that a lot of the films in this video were actually very successful at the box office, which is something that's actually rare to see in the Oscars. Mostly, well, not mostly, but due to the pandemic, in recent memory, which would be the last 2 to 3 years, the Oscars have kind of been full of movies that were just movies that nobody cared about. Nobody saw them. And this year, at least half of, if not more than half of, the movies that are being nominated are big blockbuster pictures. We have Elvis, we have Avatar 2, we have Top Gun Maverick, we have Everything Everywhere at Once, we have Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. The Batman got quite a few nominations. Not for its writing or best director or anything, but it got a few of the technical Oscars, sound and I think special effects. So there's quite a bunch of big movies that were nominated in this year's list, and so I want to talk about that. So I'm going to go through the Oscar nominations and just give you my thoughts on them. I do gotta say, Everything Everywhere All at Once from A24, I just am so happy that movie is doing so well. It's such a huge hit for the studio and a big win for the Oscars overall. And that movie got so many nominations. Actress in a supporting role, Everything Everywhere All at Once got 2 nominations. Jamie Lee Curtis and Stephanie Hsu. HSU. So yeah, that movie is sweeping it at the Oscars. You got Angela Bassett from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. She definitely deserved a nomination. Out of the films that are being nominated for actress in a supporting role, that's the only film I actually saw. But she did an amazing job in that film. So there's that. Then there's the actress in a supporting role. Really would have liked to see Sadie Sink for The Whale, even though I haven't seen The Whale. That's the thing, is I haven't seen a lot of the smaller films or films that just recently came out. Everything Everywhere All at Once is a movie I've been wanting to watch for so long, but just due to life situations, I haven't had time or the desire to spend money to see it yet. So, but after all these nominations that it's gotten, wow. But I'm excited for some of these movies that I haven't seen. The Whale is definitely one I want to see as well, but I would have liked to see Sadie Sink nominated instead of Hong Chau. Then we have costume design. Nothing special about Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I don't some of them were they were good costumes, better than most of Marvel's costumes lately, but still Oscar worthy. I don't know. Babylon, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Elvis. The production designs of those films, just especially the costumes, just yeah, I can see why they got nominated. Honestly, I would have put the Batman above Black Panther Wakanda Forever. I'm sure there's other films that maybe even deserved it more than the Batman, but just that Batman suit was just amazingly designed. So I definitely would have replaced Black Panther with the Batman in this this particular category. Then we have sound. And I think the sound category was spot on. Yeah, All Quiet on the Western Front. I have not seen that movie, but it definitely is a film that, just based on the type of film it is, it's a war film. Like, obviously, if it's that as good as that everybody's been saying, like, clearly it deserves a sound nomination. Avatar, I would say, yeah. The Batman, definitely. Elvis, yes. And Top Gun Maverick, absolutely. So, definitely the sound nominations were spot on. Original score, I haven't seen any of those movies, so I can't talk about the score. Adapted screenplay, haven't seen any of these movies besides Top Gun Maverick, which I don't think deserves to be there. Glass Onion, I've heard it's like very stupid and clever. Like, some people will say it's stupid, some people will say it's clever, some people will say it's both, I think. So, like, if you can make something stupid and clever at the same time, then that is actually a very talented screenplay. So yes, but I haven't seen it. Original screenplay, Everything Everywhere All at Once got nominated. That's the only. There's the Fablemans from Steven Spielberg. So people like to eat up whatever Spielberg puts out. So yeah, he's a very, very good filmmaker. So that's why that got nominated. I haven't really seen any of these films, so I can't talk about them. Live action short films, I don't really care. Animated short films, I haven't seen any of the short films. Actor in a supporting role, don't really know any of them. We do have, I think, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah. Honestly, sure, pick them. Get Everything Everywhere All at Once, all the nominations it can get. I haven't seen it. I don't even know if it's a good movie, to be honest. I just have been seeing a lot of good stuff. It looks so creative. I just think that it's cool when a movie is so good and so loved by everybody that it gets like this high level of praise. Honestly, Everything Everywhere swept on the nominations, and there's even nominations that I think it should have gotten based on what I've seen. Once again, I have not seen the movie like all the way through, but I think that it's definitely going to do really well when the actual awards are given out. Original song, let's see what we got here. There's only like 2 of these songs that I actually listened to. That was Lift Me Up from Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, which I completely like forget how it even sounded or what the words were. But Rihanna, she's a good singer. She's really talented. So I can see why probably it got the Oscar nomination, just because I'm sure it's a really uplifting, inspirational song. But Hold My Hand is the only one that I've actually heard, like, and actually remember being like, wow, this is a good song. Lady Gaga was involved with that. She's the singer. I just remember going to see Top Gun Maverick, and then the song played at the end. I'm like, oh, this is so nice. It was such a great way to finish. This song is so good. And then I walked out of the theater, went to my car, immediately put that song on, and I just listened to it on the way home. It's just really good. So just because it's the only song on there that I actually like thought was really good out of the 2 songs that I heard, I'd say personally probably that should be the winner. But I haven't heard Natu Natu from RRR or Applause from Tell It Like a Woman, and I haven't heard This Is a Life from Everything Everywhere all at Once. So I can't say about which one actually deserves to win. I just know Top Gun Maverick had a really good original song. Documentary, feature film, and documentary short film, I don't really know. International feature film, All Quiet on the Western Front, like, clearly is the winner. Like, that movie got nominated for so many other awards that aren't even related to international films specifically. If it somehow loses to any of these other films, that just doesn't make any sense. So I'm rooting for it because war movies are usually really good. Animated feature film. This is the spot that I'm most passionate about. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio got on the list. And quite frankly, I feel like that's the movie that the Academy is going to pick. I think it could be close with that and Puss in Boots, but Puss in Boots just needs to win. Like, if the Academy votes Toro's Pinocchio above Puss in Boots, then they're making a big mistake. Like, sure, Pinocchio took like 15 years for them to make. The animation is just so well done. It's like designed so well. But Puss in Boots is like some of the best like 3D slash 2D animation I've ever seen put to film. Like, it's so beautiful. And beyond that, the characters in Puss in Boots, I feel like are just so much more like, just amazing. Like, Pinocchio was an amazing film. It made into my top 10, I think, this year. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful film. But quite frankly, Puss in Boots was so much better. Like, as well made as Del Toro's Pinocchio was, it wasn't quite as special as Puss in Boots The Last Wish. I just hope that the Academy decides to give the award to Puss in Boots, because that's going to be something that actually affects the future of animation. It's going to be something that affects the future of DreamWorks and Disney as like competitors. If Del Toro's Pinocchio wins, that just gives Netflix a win for putting a movie straight to streaming, and just gives stop motion animation, which is something that has been awarded and praised for so long, yet nobody is actually interested in stop motion animation, which is sad. But giving it an Oscar win is not going to change people's perspective on stop motion animation. Most people just don't like the style. As much as I love stop motion animation style and love almost every film that I've seen that was stop motion, it's just not going to affect the industry in the same way as a win for Puss in Boots is. Honestly, I think that Turning Red even being nominated, I can see why, by an artistic standpoint, why it got on there. And Marcel the Shell with Shoes isn't even an animated film. Like, it's a live action film with animated elements. So I don't understand why that was nominated. The Sea Beast, I kind of knew it was going to get nominated. I also know it's not going to win. Like, this, if anybody thinks that the Sea Beast is going to win, and if the Sea Beast actually won, then the Academy is just stupid. Like, it's a good film. Sea Beast was not Oscar win worthy. Quite frankly, I think Marcel should have been knocked out. I don't know what I would have wanted to replace it, because I think The Bad Guys should be on this list. Quite frankly, I think The Bad Guys should have replaced Turning Red. But of course, the Academy doesn't care about the actual moral detriment that Turning Red promotes. They don't care about that. So obviously, Turning Red, because it was a very stylized, very artistic film, despite the fact that there was quite a few people that didn't like that. Like, Turning Red obviously was going to get nominated, and it disappoints me because, quite frankly, Disney needed the humility and needed to be humbled. They needed this year to, like, they didn't need any Oscars. Like, in order to drive Disney to better themselves, like, in terms of just quality and morally, like, just shutting them out of the Oscars for animation would have been what Disney Animations and Pixar needs to stop making bad movies. Quite frankly, DreamWorks should have gotten a spot with The Bad Guys in here, and should have taken the win with Puss in Boots, which could still happen. But I just really hope that the Oscars, the Academy, decides Puss in Boots over Pinocchio. That's just what I want. Makeup and hairstyling, once again, Black Panther Wakanda Forever got nominated, and considering the fact that Everything Everywhere All at Once wasn't on this list, and that movie just looked like a production design, like, amazing. Even Babylon, like, you cannot tell me that Tobey Maguire looks like that, yet they got him to look like it. That's really good. Margot Robbie, the hairstyling, the makeup. Why did that movie not replace Black Panther of all movies? That movie, there was not much special about the hairstyling or the makeup. Like, maybe the blue underwater people, maybe that blue was all makeup, so maybe I can understand. But, like, on a visual level, it just looks so basic. It's like when Suicide Squad won the Oscar, like, you can understand why, because there was just so much bizarre, amazing hairstyles and makeup went into that film that were just so abnormal, but yet still kind of looked cool. I know a lot of people didn't like the Joker's look, but I actually liked the Joker's look. And then all that, like, Suicide Squad won the Oscar because it did something actually unique with it. Black Panther is not unique in its makeup and hairstyles. Babylon is. Everything all everywhere kind of looks like it was in some shots. Once again, I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really say, but Black Panther did not deserve to be here. Like, this is another Oscar that just Black Panther did not warrant. But Elvis and the Batman definitely did. Production design. This is a movie that the Batman definitely should have been on. Probably, I would have said replacing Avatar or The Fabelmans. But Babylon got on there. Elvis got on there. And All Quiet got on there. So that's a pretty good slate. Like, I can see that. I think the Batman should have been on there. Film editing, Elvis, Top Gun Maverick, Everything Everywhere. Those, I think, are all good picks. Once again, I haven't seen Everything Everywhere, but Tar and Banshees of Inisherin, okay. Once again, Batman probably could have gotten on this list. Like, the editing isn't something that stood out to me with the Batman, so I can understand why it's not on here. Cinematography, something that the Batman definitely should have been on, quite frankly. I haven't seen Tar, Empire Light, or Bardo, so I can't say if it deserves to win. And All Quiet, based on the shots I've seen, definitely looks like it could be a contender for cinematography. But the Batman cinematography, just with the lighting and everything, just was amazing. Elvis also, I'm glad that it got nominated. Would have probably replaced one of the Tar or Bardo or Empire with Batman. But until I see them, I guess I can't say. I really want to see a lot of these films before making my judgment, but I just got to go based off of the movies I've seen, just how they compare to other movies that I've seen in the past. Visual effects, I'm glad the Batman got on there. Top Gun Maverick, yes. Avatar, definitely. All Quiet on the Western Front, very good. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. Elvis, Everything Everywhere at Once, probably. I mean, even Doctor Strange, there's a few shots, but honestly, Doctor Strange's visuals and CGI, honestly, were more well-rounded than some of the shots in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Are you just giving it the Oscar nomination because it's the best Marvel movie that came out this year? It's come on. Black Adam had better CGI and better looking visuals than Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Whether or not they're better movies, Black Panther is the better movie out of Black Adam and them. But Black Adam visually was so much better than Black Panther. Just to be honest, I'm being completely honest with that. Black Adam would have been a better pick, but because that movie wasn't Oscar worthy, even though it kind of was more so in this area than Black Panther, but because the film itself was torn into by critics and the Academy, nobody even thought about it. What's another one? Nope. I would have put Nope above Black Panther for visuals. Just the visuals, sure, there wasn't as many visual effects shots, but they were better when you did see them. What's another movie? Jurassic World Dominion, I wouldn't say deserved it above Black Panther. The dinosaurs all looked honestly, once again, it's a case of Black Panther was a good movie. Jurassic World was not. So obviously you're going to probably nominate the movie that's better. But visually effect-wise, even Jurassic World was better than Black Panther. I've gone way too long on this. Bottom line, there's a lot of nominations Black Panther received that it should not have received. Actor in a leading role, Austin Butler definitely deserves that. I know a lot of people were saying Brandon Fraser deserves the Oscar because it's his comeback. He was such a big part of our childhood kind of thing. It's he played in the Mummy movies and he was George of the Jungle. Sure, he's getting a movie that shows that he's actually a really good actor and he's not just the silly actor that everybody remembers him as. He got nominated. He does not need an Oscar. Austin Butler's kickstarting his career. He did an amazing job. Brandon Fraser, I've seen a few clips. I need to watch The Whale. He looks like he did really good. But quite frankly, I just want Austin Butler to win this spot. He did such a good job in Elvis. And I would hate to see this get taken from him because of some... Honestly, I feel just more people know about Brandon Fraser, which is why they want him to win. But Austin Butler needs to be put in the limelight because that performance is something unlike I've seen ever in a movie. Actress in a leading role, I like Kate Blanchett. Michelle Williams is pretty good, and then you got Michelle Yeoh from Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then you've got a couple others. So like Kate Blanchett is really good, so maybe she would win, or maybe it will be Michelle Yeoh because I've heard that movie is just downright great. So we'll see. And here we are, the final two like really good spots. The Academy Award in directing. Really sad to see that Baz Luhrmann did not get nominated for Elvis, like for his directing in Elvis. Like, what? Like, Elvis got so many other nominations, including Best Picture, as we'll see, but somehow it did not get the directing. No, it did. The Banshees of Inisherin, a movie that I've heard and seen just based on the Oscars and what I've seen people say, like, it's a good movie. It's a really good movie. But nobody really cares about it, really. The Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg, obviously, like, it almost gets old. Like, I'm sure it's an amazing film. But seeing Steven Spielberg get the Oscar nominations and sometimes wins every year, Everything Everywhere All at Once, is probably one of the exceptions on this list of Best Director. Then you have Tar. You got Todd Field. I don't think anybody knows who that is or what the movie is. Triangle of Sadness, I've heard it's really good. Well, just based on the reviews and stuff. But nobody really knows what Triangle of Sadness is, do they? Not really. Yet here it is with Ruben Ostlund receiving the nomination over Baz Luhrmann. And even Matt Reeves for the Batman. Like, the directing behind that film was just really good. Quite frankly, I think seeing Baz Luhrmann and Matt Reeves get nominated for Best Directing would have really boosted the Oscars, because nobody wants to go to see the Oscars to see a movie get awarded that nobody cared about. The last one is Best Picture, and there's quite a few really good nominations on this. Some of them just seem to show up out of nowhere, but first off, we have All Quiet on the Western Front. Once again, the only international film to get nominated this year for Best Picture clearly is going to win the international film category. Avatar, I'm glad it got nominated, but it definitely does not deserve it. It deserves to be nominated, but in no way, no world does Avatar: The Way of Water deserve to win Best Picture, at least with what else came out this year. So then we have The Banshees of Inisherin. Doesn't surprise me. I'll have to watch it, see if it's really as good as the Oscars and the critics and some of the YouTubers are saying it is. Elvis, I'm so happy that got nominated. Everything Everywhere All at Once. That was obvious that it was going to happen. The Fabelmans, just because it's Steven Spielberg, who makes really good movies. Tar, there's been a lot of Oscar nominations for it, so the fact that it got to Best Picture is not surprising. Top Gun Maverick, I'm glad it got nominated. It's not surprising, just due to how much love that film got. And then you have Triangle of Sadness and Women Talking, which are just kind of like out of nowhere nomination picks. But quite frankly, because Elvis, because Avatar, because Top Gun, and Everywhere All at Once all got in, I can definitely say that this is a good Best Picture list. Like, it's got a good leveled out. It's got a good variety of like blockbusters and those like smaller art house films that nobody really cares about but are good movies. So this Oscars ceremony looks like it will be a lot of fun. It's not like an amazing Oscar front, but quite frankly, this is like one of the best Oscar nomination lists that we've gotten in a long, long time. And I'm really hoping Elvis comes out with a lot of the wins, as well as Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I'm hoping that the Batman wins pretty much every category that it was nominated for, because it kind of deserves it. And I'm kind of sad to see Batman didn't get nominated for more like production design and cinematography. But oh well. There's a lot of good stuff that did happen this year with the Oscar nominations, so I'm just so looking forward to it this year, which is something that I have not said about any of the previous years that I've actually been following the Oscars. So thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what your thoughts are below on the Oscars. Like, what do you think should win? What are you hoping wins? And just what movies did you really love this year? So I'll see y'all later. Bye.